You take the GHD back raise and you take the overhead squat, and what you have there is basically the entire posterior chain. I know the posterior chain is kind of defined lower back, glutes, and hamstrings, but I'm literally talking about from neck all the way down to the heel. The GHD back raise, I feel it in the calf, I feel it in the hamstrings, I feel it in the glutes, I feel it in the lower back. And depending on how I position myself, I sometimes feel it in my mid-back as well. Then you get off this machine after a whole bunch of sets and you go do overhead squats. And I feel overhead squats right in between the shoulder blades. I think what I'm feeling is rhomboids, but who knows? There's a whole lot of muscles there. Maybe like upper erectors or something, I'm not sure. But I'm feeling all of that light up when I go overhead squatting with just the bar. Just simply holding the bar in that position murders me. Right now, I'm sitting here at the computer table at home, and I am very much aware of the postural muscles, which are usually asleep when I'm sitting at the table and kind of like cathodically, slouching at the computer table. I feel these muscles right now. And when you have a mind-muscle connection with something which is lacking, it is easier to, throughout the day, put in reps with this particular area of the body, simply because you now register the damn thing. It's on the map. It's on the radar. These muscles are now on the radar with me, kind of like when you do bicep curls and you feel your biceps every time you open the drawer or whatever. These rhomboids, these between the middle back and upper neck area, I actually feel the, I don't know what you call them, what's that? Mandible, I can't remember. There's a fancy name for one of the neck muscles. I feel that muscle. I feel the traps. I feel the shoulders. I want to say the rear delts and kind of like middle delts. I feel them. I simply don't know if I'm making claims. Every time I freaking make a video, I feel like I'm making all these claims, but I genuinely feel what I say. I'm not just saying it to like sound dramatic or whatever, but as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if there is a better postural exercise for the 21st century human being than an overhead squat. I don't know if there is. Because that thing basically reverses everything that the 21st century has brought to us. Even the 20th century, really. The advent of the damn chair, the car, the toilet, all of that stuff has basically made us these immobile, slouching, head forward posture, ugly looking beings. With that comes a whole host of medical issues. Talk about improper emptying of bowels. Talk about bowel cancer. There's reports in some studies and some research to say that countries which don't have seated toilets have lower rates of bowel cancer, purely because they must empty their bowels more effectively. And why would you want to store waste inside your system more longer than you should, right? That's waste and you need to get rid of it. And if you sit on a toilet, you're basically getting rid of a lesser amount. And so this stuff just ends up sitting until the next time. That's just one on top of my head. I'm sure there are many more. Maybe even headaches are reduced because now you have these postures which are better, when you are able to stick your freaking hands overhead without any lumbar compensation or thoracic compensation. You can literally, you have the shoulder mobility to go straight up. When you have that ability, that means the muscles which are doing that motion, sticking their hand straight above your head without any thoracic compromise, that means the muscles are working and they're balanced. My overhead squat is very imbalanced. I'm all over the place, even though I'm very active. But that particular part of my body is not active. So, we can talk about what is the most compound exercise. We can talk about what is the best exercise until the cows come home. But I think essentially what we need to talk about is what brings us back to a normal human anatomy, normal human design. What What should we be able to do? And that question is a sobering question, because if you're telling me you can't, stick your hand up straight, without, compromising your spine, I feel like that is not optimal. Now, I'm not saying we all need to freaking do, splits, middle splits, and side splits and forward splits, but there needs to be a degree. And I feel the squat should be a fundamental thing that should be at the basis of all human movement. We were all able to do that when we were kids. Why did we lose it? My kids don't have trouble sitting in a squat and lifting their hands overhead, but we do. Why do we do that? Well, how many times do you lift your hands over your head? Not many times, I can guarantee you that, man. Not throughout the day, but I'm sure there's people before the 20th century who had a need to do that. Well, maybe they had to pick the damn apple off the tree. How many apples have you picked off the tree? How many bananas have you picked off the tree? When's the last time you go hay off the top freaking shelf? In your I can't think of the term where Stala. Stala is the name in Serbian. I don't know. I can't think of it in English. Stala. People used to put hay up above where the cows and horses would be. You got to get that down. Anyway, the point is, I'm tapping into ranges of motion which are very fatiguing. Let me be very honest, man. These exercises, I am moving around insignificant amount of weight, yet I am absolutely smashed. Simply because I have to work so hard to maintain these postures while I'm doing an overhead squat. And I'm very, very tired right now. I am properly feeling exhausted. And it's not because the muscles are exhausted because I moved a ton or whatever. No, it's because I was trying to be in positions which my body does not want to be in. It's like max range hold position. And it's so taxing. Towards the end of the sets, I didn't show these sets, but I ended up doing 10 sets of overhead squats at the end, 10 sets of 10. And the last few sets, I tried to bring my hands, my grip in. Oh my God. Does that light you up? It is incredible. I think there is lots and lots of growth for me to have in this area. And I'm very hopeful it's going to improve my ollie lifts. It's going to improve me physically, that I can actually do the full lifts and I can catch the bar and I can do these things and I can be more comfortable catching the bar, because catching the bar requires verticality, it requires posture. My body's freaked out by that right now and doesn't want to go there. It would make sense. So the ollie lifts should improve, and I know when the ollie lifts improve, then all the other stuff will improve as well. It's just like I always say, man, you got to find what's lagging in your system, what's causing the short circuit in the whole damn place. There's no point beefing up a part of the system that's already flying. Find the thing which is circuiting out as soon as there's a bit of turbulence, as soon as there's a bit bad weather. What is giving out first? Address that, and then you have a bit more, use of the service, of the system. That's basically what I love about experimentation. What keeps me coming back is it's like, okay, where is the next weakest link? Where's the weak link on me? Which department do I need to beef up to make this company a bit more successful? It's literally that simple, man. There's no point firing the triage nurse for the doings of the surgery upstairs. There's no point. That's not where the troubles were. It's kind of like that. Anyway, I found myself a movement pattern which I'm horribly weak at, and I reckon if I improve that just a smidge, everything else would benefit immensely. Like always, guys, really appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.